Welcome to our fourth deck meeting for this Toastmasters year. Our AM is unable to get on to the call at the moment, and so I'd like to call tonight's meeting to order. I would invite our area director, Aisha Singh, as she leads us in the invocation for tonight's meeting. Area Director Aisha, the virtual space is yours.
Thank you, Madam District Director. May we all bow our heads and pray. Dear kind and ever-loving Father, we thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercies. We thank you that you are God. And even now, we thank you that we have another opportunity to gather together as the leaders of District 81. May everything that is done today be done in decency and in order, so that your name is glorified. And we take this opportunity to pray for our fellow Toastmasters who might be in preparation for the storms that will come. Help them, O God, to remain comforted in you, to remain in your bosom. Keep them safe. It is the promise that you've made to us, and we stand on your word. This we ask in no other name but the name of Jesus. So let it be. Amen and amen. I was also asked to bring a word of inspiration to us. And may I start by saying a pleasant good evening to our district leaders, current and immediate past, our district leaders, as I said, my apologies, our division directors, good evening, area directors. I trust we are all doing well. And even as we were reminded over the last couple of days that storms do come, I felt it necessary to remind us that there are also storms of life that will come at us in one way or another. And preparation for these storms, likened unto our fellow Toastmasters who are preparing for the natural storm, preparation for these storms is key. So allow me to encourage us to be prepared for these storms by using the very acronym STORM. We can find strength through preparation. Now, some storms come and catch us off guard, especially the storms of life. We may not have the time to prepare like some of our fellow Toastmasters. But in the environment that we operate as Toastmasters, this is our preparation ground. When we come together in meetings such as this, it's us coming so that we can get the information, we can get the nutrients, we can build ourselves up so that we can go out and build others to face the storms of life. The T in STORM stands for trust in teamwork. Now, no ship can sail alone. A successful division, district area, a club always relies on trust in each other. It's important for us to collaborate, delegate, and build mutual accountability. We must build a culture where we lean on one another and where we lift each other. The O in STORM stands for openness to opportunities. Now, there are many times when opportunities will come our way where we may be asked to do things that put us out of our comfort zone. But again, in the environment of Toastmasters, we have the opportunities to be open with our leaders, to bring to them the feedback that is necessary to help us grow, to help us be prepared for the storms of life that will come at us. The R in STORM stands for resilience in adversity. The roar of the winds tests our resolve. Resilience is not denial of difficulty. It's the daily choice to show up and to give constructive feedback to persist with patience. And the M in storm is mindset over misfortune. Your mindset determines how you weather the storm. Embrace a growth mindset and know that feedback is fuel. As we go through this journey as leaders, as we continue our journey for this path that we've chosen, let us remind ourselves to be prepared for the storms of life that will come. After all, when two storms reach, the bigger one can absorb the smaller. Let us be that bigger storm. Thank you, and back to you, Madam District Director.
Thank you so much, Area Director Aisha, for that reminder. When two storms meet, definitely one has to be the bigger one, and that should certainly be us. I'd like to invite Division Director Denise, as she just gives us a quick icebreaker to set the tone for tonight's meeting. DVD Denise?
Thank you, Madam District Director. This evening, we are hearing quite a bit of what is happening in our district and our fellow Toastmasters. We know that they are busy preparing for the occurrence that will be happening. As Aisha said, we have a culture where we lift each other up. And that is the intention this evening, to lift each other up. After all, friendships are forged, teams have been worked with, and you have worked with different teams. Personal relationships have occurred from our settings. And so we support each other in everything we do within Toastmasters. This evening, we should have an attitude of gratitude. Gratitude because as people, we're in a world whereby natural occurrence takes place. But with all that's going to take place, we are here to support, to encourage, and just to give that little call to see how we're doing and how we can assist each other. And sometimes we are sad with knowing what will happen. But nevertheless, what we can focus on is today. We have today. And we pray that everything works out well tomorrow. And so by this, I would like to ask 3 questions to my fellow Toastmasters this evening. And I hope that everyone is willing to partake. And I start first with Lady Sonia Monrose. What made you smile today?
A lot of things had me smiling. Good evening to you, Madam Division Director and fellow leaders, Madam District Director. A lot of things had me smiling, but in particular, my grandchildren, my 2 granddaughters and my grandson, chatting with them had me smiling. And in particular, the younger of the 2 girls, she is 9, turning 10 later. She said sometimes she's bullied because she has a skin condition, autoimmune skin condition. And she started her channel, anti-bullying channel. And, I smile at that. I'm saying at that tender age to think of going on and forming a safe space for others to join you and to, abate the bullying that's happening in the school. So I am thankful for that, and I'm thankful to see them grow so nicely, but they're growing a little bit too quickly. Over to you, Madam Division Director.
Thank you, Lady Sonia. Indeed, we sometimes learn from others, and it can be our little ones who teaches us lessons of life that we can also take along with us as we are there as adults to also guide them. Lady Marilyn Elodia, what act of kindness did you witness today or you have done today?
Thank you, Division Director Denise. Sorry for my camera because I am driving. What kindness that I experienced today? Well, I must say I have a cousin that lived in Bonaire, and we don't see other often, and she is now in Curacao, and she came to visit me. And what she told me about some experiences that she had, and the way she told me that with passion, that gave me a lot of joy, but also the way I treated her, and she was very happy with our encounter today. That is one of the kindness that I share today with her. Back to you.
You're muted,
You're muted,
Division.
Madam Division Director.
Thank you, Madam Eddie. It is indeed a pleasure, Eddie Marilyn, to know that kindness comes in many forms. And not only are we here to give kindness, but it's also reciprocated. I move on to Eddie Daphne for long. My question to you is, what small victory have you had today?
What small victory have I had today? I'm not even sure that I would call it small. Today, I cleaned up my space. You know, when the place is untidy, how heavy it feels, and you cannot get anything done. And so today, that was I don't even want to call it small. It felt like a big victory because I don't like cleaning, but I like a clean space, and I had to do it myself. So for me, the big victory, rather than small one, was just getting the place tidy so that I could function.
Thank you, Eddie Daphne. Indeed, that is always a victory because it gives us such a sense of accomplishment. Fellow Toastmasters, as our fellow members in Jamaica and Haiti are going through this monstrous storm that is coming their way, let us pray for them. Let us be with them. Let us encourage them. And I leave you with these words. Call someone that you know in any one of those countries. WhatsApp, send them a WhatsApp, give them a call, let them know that you are there, that you're watching, and that you're available if needed. Back to you, Madam District Director.
Thank you so much, Division Director Denise. Quite a heartwarming, engaging session. Love it. So tonight for our meeting, we're not going to be having any voting or any reports. We are going to have a short training from IPDD ELCA on navigating Conquer. If you have any questions, please be sure to utilize this opportunity now to do so. As AM would have shared in the chat during the week, kindly have access to Conquer. So I'll give everyone 2 minutes to just pull up Conquer to ensure that you have access so that as we go through the process, it would be a bit easier to be able to navigate and be able to enjoy the experience. I will now invite, so our parliamentarian, will not be able to join us, so she has another engagement for tonight's meeting. But just a reminder, if you have a question, kindly raise your hand so that you can be acknowledged to be able to participate in the discussion that we'll have later. IPDD ELCA, the virtual space is yours.
Thank you, Madam District Director Tashi Brown. Good evening, fellow district leaders. Tonight, we'll be talking about Concur, how to access Concur, and how to upload our receipts and refunds. Assisting me this evening is our PRM, Malushka. She will be assisting me. I'm sure by now you might have logged on to Concur, www.concur.com. It should say SAP Concur. And if you're there, if you've logged in, we're now going to start. We're going to go to Home. And then Expense. And then we're going to go to Create a Report. Are you there as yet? Are you following along? We're leaving no one behind. Okay. Each receipt we submit for refund, we need to name this report. And the report we're going to be working with today is Area Visit Report. We will type it in that far left-hand corner and go Create. District leaders, are you with me?
Watching you. I'm not there, but I'm watching you.
Okay. Then we're going to add an expense. The expense, the receipt should either be in JPEG, PNG, or PDF. That is where you should, that is how you should download and store the report, the receipt. Let us upload a receipt, and we're going to upload a receipt either is this the hotel receipt we're uploading, or is it the travel?
This is the travel
Okay.
for the area visit report.
Okay. So this is the ticket we have now uploaded from the airline. We have uploaded it.
Yes.
Now we're going to go to payment type. Madam PRM, click on it, please.
Yes.
Now, this is our receipt. At the top, it says airline. And then when it says business purpose, we would put area visit here. The next line, scroll down. Okay. We have the price. Now we have to establish what currency is the receipt in. Is it in US? Is it in Jamaica dollars? Or is it in EC? This receipt is in US. And does it say 200 or is that 20 PRM? It says 200?
200. Yes, 200.
200. No matter what currency it's in, the system will calculate it to US. So you put in the currency and the system will calculate it. We did not need to calculate it because it is US dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Then it says report code. We will now look for a code which relates to area visits. This is under the area director's report. So we look in the drop down for something which relates to it. I'm seeing lodging. Does it say area?
I think we will.
We're looking for something that relates to travel for, just scroll down, that's lodging. Travel. That says area travel.
Area director. Travel area director.
Okay. It's important for us to have the right code because this will affect what happens when in the accounting system, when it gets to FM. If we do not select the correct information, FM will send this back to us. So we need to ensure that we have the correct information. The next thing on the side, what does this say?
Event period.
And that's not applicable. Then this is
Subsidiary.
area. And then in the comments, we will say airline fee or airline ticket for area visit, area 5, and wherever you're traveling to. As much information as possible so the comments will marry back with the invoice. And then we say save expense. While we are on the area visit, we are having the contests. So we will be now paying for the trophies. So we're going to add the trophies expense to this report. We'll now add expense and we look for the receipt which we saved for the trophy. And add it. We're waiting for the system to upload it. Okay, so that is now uploaded. And there is an X, a red X. PRM, you're going a little quickly.
Yeah.
We
great.
click on it, saying what expense it is. Now, we need to change this expense because it says gift and thank you. And that is not what we're claiming for. We're claiming for the trophies, and I believe it comes under award and trophies. Right, then we select that. The name of the company. Yes, we put trophies there.
Yeah.
Or we can put.
Area trophies.
Or you can put contest trophies. Okay. The amount is there. The $100 matches the receipt. Now let's see.
The spelling of trophies needs to be adjusted. TROPHIES. And take off the first H. Excellent. Thank you.
Hi, Billy.
Looks like we lost her there for a bit,
Oh, okay.
but you can
I'm
continue
not
speech
seeing that.
contest
Where is
area.
that?
Oh, she's on
You
now.
need to come down some more. It's there. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. We good there? Okay. Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Oh, beautiful. Sorry, I'm not seeing her.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Oh, now.
Sorry about that. If, for example, this receipt had several other items on it, and we only claiming for the trophy. For example, we probably bought a cake and something else, which we are not claiming for, but we are only claiming for the $100. We will put that $100 there, and in the comments section, we will say, this receipt, we are only claiming for part of this receipt. When FM gets the receipt, he will see the receipt is for $120 because the cake costs $20, but we're only claiming for $100. We have a speech contest, event period, we're going to put NA. Okay. Wait. It has a time period. It has a time period.
Yes.
Okay, this one has a time period. Some may not have a time period. So let's say that it is September. September 2025, we put it there.
Yes.
Then we go to the subsidiary account. And we click area. Is there a drop down where it says District 81? No. No, that's fine. Where it says district, it's fine. Now in the comments, no, come down to comments. In the comments, we'll say trophies for area 5, 4, or 6 contests, whatever the area is. Held in September. And there is where we will put, we're claiming for part of the receipt. Only $100 represent the trophies. And whatever else you want to put. If you want to put the country it is held in, fine. And then we say save. And now we have uploaded both of our receipts. That's all we're going to be claiming for. And then we're going to hit submit. Don't hit submit, PRM, but then you would hit submit. Submit report at the top right-hand corner. And that report will go to FM. Our area visit report, and we are claiming for these 2 items. When we send report to FM, we will get will get a notice, and once he approves it, it will say it has changed hand. But after you've submitted it to him, send him a WhatsApp message, an email, and let him know that you have submitted the report so he can look out for it. If this report is sent for, I think it's 10 days, and he has not actioned it or he did not see this, it will come back to you and you will have to resubmit it. So we need to communicate once we are submitting a report that the report has been sent. Are there any questions? Are there any questions?
IPDD Elka, yes. What happens when I press submit? How do I know when I would have received those funds? What happens next?
Once you have submitted the receipts, if they have received the funds,
How do
that
you
is what
know?
you said.
What's the journey between submission and receiving the funds? How do you know if you're going to receive the funds?
You will get an email from district at Toastmasters, District Finance, or District Concord, and they will ask for your bank information. Once you submit your bank information to our finance team at World Headquarters, the funds will be wired to your bank account. And that will happen after the final approval. And then it goes to World Headquarters. So when they receive it, they will send and ask for your banking information to submit the funds to your bank. Are there any other questions?
I have a question, immediate past district director. I'm seeing under the vendor details. Are you hearing me? Let me just clarify that.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes,
All right.
yes.
Thank you. Under the vendor details for both of these companies, we have Granger in Texas. Is it that can change to Port of Spain, Trinidad, or is it just US, or does it not matter in this case?
Well, this is the vendor that we are using, and based on the information, it says that. It can be wherever you're going. The travel agency, whoever the travel agency you booked with, if it's American Airlines, you come and say American Airlines Texas.
Okay. American Airlines Texas.
Right. If it's any other airline, it will say where the headquarters is.
Okay, got you. All right, thank you so much.
Or if you went to a local, or if you went to a local travel agency, it would say that. If you booked via Expedia, it would say where Expedia headquarters is. So as you input that information, partially it would just help you and complete the rest. Or it would read the receipts in some cases.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right. One of my area directors, Captain Bertrand, is trying to get into the meeting.
Kindly ask him to rename because we saw a very strange
All right. I'll
alphabet
let
A
him.
to Z for him. Thank you.
So this is hello. Are there any other questions?
Yeah,
Leave it
sorry.
entirely.
Yeah,
Yes, another question.
So sorry, I came in a little late, but forgive me. I was supposed to ask, when we submit these invoices or these for reimbursement, who approves them? Is it the district trio approve them, or just two persons alone, or the finance manager? I'm trying to understand where the approval process starts.
It starts with the finance manager. And when you go to finance, as you log in and you go to expense, you will be able to see whose hands it is in. After you've submitted it here, where it says area visit, it says not submitted. Where it says not submitted, right below there, it would say submitted to finance manager, and it would say his name right there. It would say, okay, it has passed on to our district director, and it would say where it is.
All right, thank you so much. Just wanted to know what was the process. Thank you so much.
So you would be able to see right there when you manage your expenses, whose hand it is in. And remember always to communicate. After 10 days, it will come back to you. So this is the end of the training.
We have a question from
I am
Area Director
available
Lynette.
for questions. Yes.
IPDB Alka, Area Director Lynette.
Yes.
Since we have about 30 seconds on the
Yes.
clock remaining.
Yes, good evening.
Okay, go ahead,
I-
Area Director Lynette.
I know that the $100 is for trophies for contests, but suppose you spent more than $100. Do I still,
Well,
how do I claim the $100? The same way we claim in as though you spend more money and just claim the 100. Let's say I spend $150 on trophies and I upload that. In the comments, I should only account for $100.
Well, you need to have a conversation with FM and he will guide you as to how you're going to treat with it if your trophies for $150 is something that's going to go through because it's going to include other areas, or if you're going to just be able to claim for $100. You have a budget of $100, but if it went over by 10 or if it went over by $5, this is a conversation you'll need to have with FM. And then he will tell you, well, no, you can only claim for $100. Maybe you can claim for 110. I don't know. I can't answer that question. But as we said in the beginning, if you're only claiming for $100, we did this in the training. You put in $100, and in the commence segment, you would say, I'm claiming for $100 of the receipt of $150, which is my allocated budget.
Thank you.
But the key is always to communicate with FM. Once you're going to put through a payment, let him know that you're going to be putting through your payment and how much it's going to be, and then you can start the process. If you get stuck, I can assist you.
Thank you very much. Well said.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Madam District Director, for having me host this training. And I continue to pray for all our leaders and our family in the path of the storm. Back over to you, Madam District Director.
Thank you so much, IPDD Alka, for providing those insights. And as you can see, leaders, it is pretty straightforward to navigate the platform. Kindly remember that the budget that you would have submitted and would have been approved is what needs to be utilized as your guide through the journey of submission. And in addition to that, if you have any special circumstances that you would like discussed with FM, you can send a note to share on that type of circumstance for whatever reason. And I can share an example of what I mean when I say special circumstances. So for instance, an area director reached out to indicate that she wants to spend more time rather than the 2 nights. So she's going to do her area visit and contest at the same time. And instead of utilizing her full accommodation budget for the 2 nights, she wants to know if she can use an Airbnb, which is going to cost her less, to extend to 4 nights. So the same budget, but 4 nights with an Airbnb possibility. So that's an example where you can share what the circumstances and what possible solution you would want to propose to navigate around whatever exists. But as IPD mentioned and FM in the past, the budget is what we need to operate by, and that is what we need to always maintain when we are going to do whatever we need to do for execution. So do reach out if you're in doubt, reach out to get clarification. And also if you submit your claim, so let's say you went to do a visit. As we mentioned, only 1 visit for those that needs to travel. If for the second part of the visit, depending on when you decide to do it, for the second part or the first part, you need to find someone on the ground to support you in that journey. So with that, it means that, let's say you decided that you were going to do both, and then you're going to submit the claim after. It's not going to work like that. The claim is going to be sent back to you because it cannot be approved, because the approved budget mentioned that it's only one. So you cannot be upset with the district. You cannot be mad that you were not given the reimbursement, because it was communicated prior that the claims to be submitted for each area director that needs to travel is one time. And so that's the only one that is going to be approved. All right. So we're moving on our agenda, and now we are going to have a bit of a difference in our meeting. Tonight, we are going to put you into breakout rooms, and I'm going to share in the chat a file that has a few case studies, and we're going to just ask you to navigate and discuss those case studies. And when you come out from the breakout room, I'm going to ask you to just share and highlight generally in terms of discussion. But the whole idea is for us to really bring to light some of the realities that the clubs are facing, areas are facing, divisions are facing, and to have a community to discuss it with, so that it can be able to find an avenue for being able to navigate it. I'm not sure why I'm not getting to add the item in this chat, so I'm going to put it in the WhatsApp chat for the case. Each room is renamed for the case that you're going to work on. So for example, there are 4 cases. So at the top of the room, you should see the case that you will be working on. And I'm going to put the actual item in the WhatsApp chat. PRM, if you're able to support in this chat as well, I would love that. All right. So I am not sure if you will be able to, in terms of how the rooms are set up, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to share screen in the room, but everybody will have the document to review. So I'm opening on all the rooms now. Just join your room and do discuss openly, honestly in the process, so that we can be able to support each other in the journey.
AD Catherine, are you unable to go to your breakout room? You're on mute.
I'm not sure which one I was supposed to go to. That's why I'm looking at the screen
Oh,
because I
okay.
came on a little after.
If you click on the three dots by where you have more.
Could you send me to one? Sorry.
Oh,
Yes, if you click on there, then you will find join breakout room. And it will send you to your breakout room.
okay. Okay, it wasn't there. Thanks. Thanks, Madam Didi.
You're welcome. They have 30 minutes.
Madam Didi, or there's a person that's in a room by themselves.
Yes, I moved her to another room. I
Okay.
think it's what happened there is that everybody was assigned to a room. So that room have you and Brian.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And there's someone
her.
from Essex, what? SXM
But yeah,
Achievers.
but
That person.
I was in the room just now. Nobody is there. So I guess she just logged in and she wasn't at her device. Yeah. I see Kevin is coming in now again at the waiting room. Yeah.
Okay.
You're Director Kevin? Right.
Good evening. Am I supposed to join a breakout room?
No, that's okay.
Okay. Excuse my tardiness, but I did explain to you, Didi Tashi, that
The rooms will close in 3 minutes. Rooms will close in 3 minutes. Ryan, you'll keep the time rolling. They'll just come back. The remaining 50 minutes is for discussion in the main room.
Okay.
Deborah, that's a very broad smile.
That
I'm
was
looking
very
forward to
short, Didi. Didi, that was very short. I
3
didn't even
minutes
get
is
to
short
finish.
to do one
Yes,
case study.
I didn't even get
You
to
have to do
finish.
all 4.
I didn't even get to finish my last statement, and I
What
just
is
saw it
wrong
came.
you
Like,
doing?
that's
That
not
All
that was
4
that was too short. That was too short.
Yeah, it was so
minutes?
short. Yeah, I was trying to explain to them, and all I saw was Bop. I got kicked right out. I'm like, what?
But I'm happy nevertheless
You know,
because my plane might board
55 amount of
shortly, so I
time.
can
Remember
report.
that?
Yeah. All right. So we're all
Alright.
back now.
Yes.
So we had 2 groups doing case study 1. So I'll start with the case study 1, just to share a synopsis of what the case study was about and some of the discussion points that you had around that. So case study 1, we started a group that had Shakira, Jason, Debbie. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Didi. Good evening, everyone. The ADs discuss at least 2 of the ADs actually have members below 2, so that was really relevant. And they shared that they will try to reach out to the president and ask that they utilize their PR teams more, utilize the media, and encourage members to at least bring one member to meeting. Oh, sorry, one guest to meeting. Also, it was suggested that they have regular open houses to encourage membership growth in the clubs. So we were just getting down, how best. But one AD said that they are about to utilize the media to help them with that membership growth and trust that work. And the other area director indicated that regular open houses she would recommend to the presidents to have them utilize that as well. and to encourage each member to bring one guest. One said to encourage to bring 2 guests, but at least one to meeting and see how we can convert them into members. Madam Didi.
Right. Thank you. The group with Lady Sonia, Janet. Do you have anything different to add to this case study with respect to low membership?
Yes, we do. Good evening, everyone. Okay, so on that same case study, the first thing that we were thinking of going into first, it's the members' need. Just go back and then have one-to-one conversation with the members to know their need. I mean, if they come into a meeting, they're coming for a reason, but what is that reason? It's more so if they're not coming. So what is that reason also? Why they're not coming? What was that need that they wanted to feel and that they couldn't feel it? So the stress, the main focus is on having the one-to-one conversation with the members, finding out what are their needs. And then that other thing is like show them how it can be equally beneficial for them to attend a Toastmaster meeting than attending their work or be spending time with their families and so on and so on. Because probably they're not doing it, they're not coming because it's maybe not their priority because they do not see the benefit of it. But then if we show them what's the benefit for coming to a Toastmaster meeting, it's just like a skills that they're acquiring to put into their professional life or in their lifestyle and then use those skills. So make them see that. And then one other thing also is like to use other Toastmasters or the Toastmasters from other clubs that they would come to that club and then make the meeting more exciting. So they will see like a big crowd, they will see people across coming in with their enthusiasm and so on. So probably they will pick up on that and then show even more. And then last but not least, it's the social media. So one of the ADs showed an example that whenever, even if they're just 757, after their meeting, they'll make a big fuss on the social media. They did that, they did this. Well, they will not say too much so that they will come the next time. But then just to make them see or feel what they missed or what they've missed, So they will use the social media. And the last suggestion was to go on the media, by the way. Go on the media, could it be radio, TV or whatever, but just to advertise, to promote, so we could have more members. That's what we thought about it. That's first case. Over to you, Madam District.
Thank you so much for the persons that worked on the case study 1. And the reality is sometimes the clubs, they're having challenges and they want to reach out to the area director for answers. And you may not have the answer. So you don't have to, not respond or try to come up with something. There's a community to reach out to, drop some of those same, because like for our district directors around the world, persons would come, drop some of those same scenarios in the group to get feedback and to get insight. It helps on the journey. So if you're struggling with something, a member asks as a leader something that you don't have the answer for, utilize the community we have here to be able to support the journey. And certainly I love the idea about making a big fuss about the meeting when it ended and sharing that. Area Director Shakira, I noticed you had your hand up.
Sorry about that. District Director.
No problem. So we'll move on to case studies 2. We'll start with the group Keisha, with Area Director Crystal, Aisha, Jessica.
Sure. Good evening, and thank you again, Madam District Director. Our case study, said that the club's online presence is outdated and the flyers and posters are all targeted to district groups and they are shared very last minute. We were challenged to share strategies to support the club in creating a plan to refresh their image and ensure that all communication is consistent with the brand. So first and foremost, we'll want to ensure that the persons who are responsible for uploading the information or updating the information online is aware of how to do it. So that poses for a conversation with them. And if they are not aware, we conduct a training to let them know how to update the information and to reiterate the importance of having updated information on the system, because we have persons who will just go onto Toastmasters International, search for a club, and you want to ensure that the information there is accurate with the dates and times so that they can join your clubs. Creation of flyers in advance was one of the recommendations that came out. It is the possibility that a lot of clubs are aware of the themes of their meetings way in advance. So collaborating with the VPPR to possibly have those flyers created way in advance was one of the recommendations, possibly on a quarterly basis. And there was a recommendation to consider sending the information to the team members by email. Now, we did have a bit of a discussion happening around that, as someone felt, well, you know, we have WhatsApp groups, so that might be a better medium to share it. But then the point of us being groupies, having so many WhatsApp groups and so much information being shared there, and sometimes it can get lost, we felt that to meet every need, it could still have some validity in sharing the information by email as well. The club will be encouraged to use Facebook or create a Facebook so that we can reach persons outside of the Toastmasters community rather than just utilizing WhatsApp groups within Toastmasters, because then we're preaching to the choir. So let's use our Facebook. Let's also encourage our members to place the flyers on their WhatsApp status. Very easy. We don't have to say a word. We just upload it there, and everyone who is in our contact has the opportunity to see that we have a meeting going on. One person recommended creating a flyer that is specifically for visitors, where we highlight the benefits, so that if we are targeting persons who may have visited our clubs, of course, we should have a record of those persons. And every time we're going to have a meeting, let's create a flyer that targets them, where we sell what our brand is. What is our brand as a club? Not the Toastmasters brand, but my club's brand. Is my club reaching out to nurses, doctors, professionals? Let us create our flyers targeting that group, and so ensure that persons who are from that target market will be interested in coming into our clubs. Last but certainly not least, ensure that the VPPR is aware of the brand guidelines and that they remain compliant. There is a call to encourage creation of a subcommittee with our VPPRs. Hopefully it should have the previous VPPR in there as well. Or even as Madam District Director said, we do have a VPPR WhatsApp group, and so you can place your flyers there so that you can get feedback and be open to the feedback, ensuring that we are remaining compliant. That's the feedback from Group 2. Thank you for the opportunity, and back to you, Madam District Director.
Thank you so much. Bridget, Tyreek, Rhonda, Katian, do you have anything that is different that you'd like to add to the case study 2 discussion?
Madam District Director, much of what was discussed with the other team 2 or Group 2, we discussed as well, acknowledging that since we are the district leadership in terms of ADs and VPEs, we may lend support in terms of training, engaging in general with the group of VPPRs, ensuring or encouraging that they coordinate as a group, doing a corporate PR and brand checklist so we can check on that, and doing a division calendar. And for our points, very briefly, we talked about asking clubs to audit their social media pages, finding out what social media groups they have access to or they've already developed in terms of Instagram, YouTube, their website. And so refreshing that, updating the bios, banners, and profile images on such online presence, and using the official Toastmasters brand template, ensuring that posts reflect the club's online personality that was discussed with the first team, aligned with the Toastmasters brand manual, scheduling consistent branding across all materials. So when people see a post or flyer, they immediately recognize the club. Schedule consistent posting featuring your club meeting details, creating a brand toolkit, and implementing a communication calendar so that all promotional contents are planned at least 2 weeks in advance and probably posted 3 or 4 days or more before the meetings, and doing repeated posts closer to the date, targeting the broader audience and strengthening the club's public image. We also have the option of, during your meetings, to stream your Zoom meetings, if we're having Zoom meetings, to Facebook, so that our audience, the persons who are the online audience in a Facebook, will have an idea what the meetings are about, so that they get to engage in that way, even if they're not in the actual meeting. And that will also help to promote the online meeting. So we were recognizing and rewarding clubs who do follow in line with what is required for the updating of the branding and the online presence, and offering mentorship when necessary. And that would be my response for the group. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you to this group, and I love the idea about the audit as a way to check to see, where the gaps are and to be able to fill that. The other was listening to a video, and the guy was saying that, what builds the algorithm is engagement. So as district leaders, are we engaging with the clubs, with their posts, with their any communication that they're making on social media? Because if you're scrolling and you see a business, for instance, and they have 1 and 2 like, or they have 1 and 2 comments, as a consumer, do you find that that is an interesting product that you want to, check out? But if you see they have lots of people engaging, commenting, and being a part of that, you might be curious to, be a part of that journey. So I'm going to challenge every leader on the call to take the time to check out the clubs in your area, in your division, and engage with their posts, like, comment, just have that engagement going so that it can help to build momentum. It might just be one person starting the journey now, but when you do it as a leader, it motivates others to also do it and to have that engagement going. So the case study 3, we'll move on to case study 3. Case study 3 would be Godales, or Director Godales, Catherine, Joel, Lynette.
Yes. For the case study 3, it's about a club whose members has gone below 8. The membership has gone below 8, and so they're requiring from us as ADs what will be our input. First of all and foremost, we said that we will need to assess the situation, to find out what the needs of the club is, and find out why they have reached to such a low membership. We also wanted to emphasize that the need to come from the members. The club need to decide what their priorities and focus are. And based on that, if they would like to continue, they will need to at least pay for 8 membership, so that a club coach could be assigned to them to help them to improve and to grow their club. But first and foremost, the desires need to come from the members, because we discussed that at every season, members go through different season in their life, and so their focus tend to change with that. I give them the example, we give example of different clubs that we have under us, and so we could see that some clubs, example for one that I have, their membership from since the beginning of the Toastmaster year, they have met maybe 3 times. And so it's a young club. They're young. They meet online. They meet on Saturdays. And it would appear that because school has started in September, and so they're having problems kind of coming together and making a decision to focus on the club. Right now, the club is Toastmasters is not the priorities. So what the board decided, they're going to come together, discuss it with the members, see what they want to do, see where their interests are really and what they would like to do further. And based on that, they're going to bring in the AD and we'll see how we can help them either grow if that is their choice. And if it's not, then we will need to see what to do with the club because it makes no sense. We also mentioned to continue a club with the members are not interested. Because if we find out that it's the members, their focus are just not there right now, they're focusing to school, they have studies. So it's very difficult to engage with members who are not engaged with you. So based on that, then we'll have to decide what to do with the club.
Thank you so
Back to
much.
you, Madam.
Thank you so much to this group for your discussion points. And I particularly love the notion on, having that empathetic journey on the renewal process, because really and truly, you have to have someone that is interested in renewing. And also there's so many issues that can prevent renewal. I was reminded of there's a young man in my area that sells different items for cars and he does washes. And so as you're passing the traffic light, and every time I pass, he's always coming to my vehicle to try to sell something. So the other day I was like, boy, are these items free? Because you're operating as though these items are free. I have to pay for them. And so it's the same with Toastmasters. Sometimes we put pressure on people, but the journey is not free. And so we have to be mindful in how we navigate the conversation of renewal and be real, because we're navigating so many challenges. And if you recognize that, someone is unable to renew because of a financial reason or because of studies or whatever, how can we work around that journey with them to help them along the journey? So I really like that point that you guys shared. The next group, that day 3, I'm going to skip that group. I'm sure that Area Director Tanik had lots of insights from PQD, CGD, and IPDD. So I'm going to move on to the final case study, which is group 4. And group 4 had Emery and Kevin, Alberto, Daphne. And notice the red light, so let's take 2 minutes to close up this discussion. Group 4, case study 4. Go ahead.
Okay, let me speak as I was also part of that group. You didn't mention my name, Didi.
Go ahead.
But we had a interesting discussion. It was district leaders are struggling to get their clubs officers to attend club officers training, discuss strategies that can be used to emphasize the benefits of training or alternative solutions for the officers and who can attend the scheduled sessions. So our discussion was we started first on talking about different clubs and in-person meetings. We know that some clubs are asking for in-person COT trainings and trainings. And so some of them have had the COT training, but have not attended the COT training. The attendance has been low. And so the idea was what can be done about this? And so we discussed some areas have clubs that are in different countries. In those scenarios, they would have to have a training online. But there are also areas where all the clubs are in the same country. And those are the clubs that can go and have in-person trainings. Now, even though that's their request and that is their want, oftentimes they don't attend as much as we would like the members to show. And so what can be done about this? And so the discussion was, it could be that because of the type of persons who are attending the training, they might be low in interest. So we discussed having the trainings being impactful and interesting. What we've noticed is sometimes the training can be a little monotonous. It can be even a little boring because you get the for example, the club officers training. So the facilitators facilitate, and then you have the president down to the sergeant of arms. But it can be done differently, whereby it can be more interactive, it can be more engaging. We can even split into different groups. So the more interactive it is, the more engaging it is, then it creates more interest, because we're having a younger set of Toastmasters that are coming to the organization. Another way of reaching persons would be sharing WhatsApp or emails, and making calls personally to them to see why they're not coming to the trainings, what is happening. Maybe there is something that we can hear from the leaders, they can advise us on what is happening, and we can address if there's an issue. And then it can even go more on a personal basis. It can be an individual, and then we can find specific solutions for specific individuals or officers in that case. So those were the ideas that we came with, and then the time was up had no further discussion.
Thank you to this group that looked at the club officers training attendance, because that continues to be a struggle, and sharing those strategies. So as leaders, for us to navigate to see what we can do differently to make it a bit more appealing, looking at different options to be able to make that possible. Area Director Kevin?
Madam District Director, I heard some lovely nuggets that I can take away, but I want to add something and challenge the ADs and by extension the division directors. Speaking from my experience, and this is something I've never, well, first it begins, some of the executive in clubs that take on position are past leaders that hold position, and you wonder why the club is failing. If the person would have had previous knowledge and they would have had that training, the club still begins to fail. It is noted that the AD supposed to support the club. The club supposed to want the help, for the AD cannot oppose on the club, right? But what I'm suggesting here is this. Maybe this could be experimental. What about if we switch it up? A AD from a different area, visit another area. Because sometimes we have a problem, but you could solve a problem somewhere else, but you can't solve it in your own home. But you could see it somewhere else and solve the problem. I've seen that many times. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we that is how we are human. So I'm saying it is good that maybe the strategy, we could switch it up. Let AD switch it up. AD from 13, I go to 14 or whatever, and let us see if we could solve the problem with membership, retention, regaining insight. I think that will work, because it come like if you're seeing it from a different angle. And then people are accustomed with seeing faces in your own area too. You understand? They just my 2 cents. Thanks.
Thank you for sharing your 2 cents, Area Director Kevin. So as much as it's an interesting direction that we can go in, we would still need to manage how that unfolds so that we don't cause confusion and we don't cause distractions within the areas themselves. But it could be something that is not directly done, maybe indirectly, in the sense that, let's say, Area Director Godales just passes through to visit, but not in an official capacity. She's just passing as a normal member. But you, Area Director Kevin, knows that she's passing to support you with giving recommendations and suggestions. So I think that is something that can work in a type of an accountability partner body type of system, where you find somebody here and there that could go to support and to share whatever insights. Because as you rightfully mentioned, there's things that you might not be seeing that is so there and alarming, but because you're in the space all the time, you don't necessarily pick it up. So I think that that's something that can work, but in an unofficial, indirect way,
All
you
I'm
can
saying,
team up with somebody else to be able to do that. So I think that can
it
work.
gotta be
So,
official.
yes. All right. So Eric, Division Director Tyree, can give you 1 minute
I'll be
to.
quick. I'll be very, very, very quick. So one suggestion I came up with is for the next area visit, what I would suggest to the area director, ask your DVDs to accompany you on that visit. It would go a long way for the support system, and it's something I've seen done. So that's just my suggestion. I don't need a full one, mate. Is ask your DVDs to support you with the visits. Because you might be surprised. Maybe you might not get to them, but your DVD might somehow help in an aspect to help you, reach them. Because the DVD is over that particular division, and that's as you're the area director inviting them, come into your official visit. So that's just a thought. I'm sure that's
All right, thank you for that input. And again, we don't want to intimidate the club. So when we're doing all of these strategies, we're not going to do it in a way that, as mentioned, is too official. It's just a normal visit to the club, participate. Perhaps the DVD could participate in the meeting as a functionary as well, just to be there, but observing so that it works in a unofficial, non-intimidating way. All right. Awesome. All right, so we are moving on our agenda, and I'm going to invite DVD Janet to share some updates with you and have another point of discussion as it relates to conference. DVD Janet, are you ready?
Thank you, Madam District Director. Good evening, everyone. Now, conference in Montego Bay. This is what all Toastmasters Conference promise. Caribbean Toastmasters Conference promise you sun, sand, spectacular experiences. Real engage with your Toastmasters family and experience a blend of learning. But what you may not have had before is learning with the leisure and luxury all in one place. And let me just take it back a little bit to where it all began in 2003, right here in Kingston, Jamaica. This is where the very first conference for District 81, or the group that would become District 81, had its first meeting. And so it is quite fitting that now that we're going to be having the very last conference for District 81, that it be held in Jamaica. We didn't want to take it back to Kingston, and so we decided that we're going to take it to Montego Bay. Some of the things that you will get when we get to Montego Bay is that you're going to have luxury. You're going to be staying in an all-inclusive, luxurious resort. And what the all-inclusive offers is unlimited food, drinks, and entertainment. You will not have to worry about transportation. All events will be right there on the property. You get to relax and connect and enjoy the Toastmasters magic. A little more of what is included in your all-inclusive package. I mentioned food and drinks, but food and drinks, breakfast, lunch, dinner, room service, and snacks. You'll have alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks, bottled water, specialty coffees and teas, and all of the hotel's food and beverages throughout the entire day. You have Wi-Fi in public areas and in guest rooms. You have mini bars. Every room has a mini bar stocked with drinks, and these are replenished every day. You'll have access to non-motorized water sports. You'll have exercise facilities, daytime tennis courts, table games, scheduled stage shows, and club activities for those of us who want to experience a little bit of the nightlife. So once you get on this property, there's no need to go anywhere else. Another interesting thing is that all gratuities, taxes, and fees are included in the room rate.
Exactly.
Now, what is it?
Montego Bay, the all-inclusive.
All right. So what is it? What is that rate that you're going to be asked to pay? And this is where, as some persons would say, the rubber hits the road. So you're going to be asked to pay for double occupancy, $223 per night if two persons are staying in a room, a minimum of $223, a maximum of $233, depending on the room category. And the table below here shows the different categories of room. And if you look at this list, you'll see that there is no, what some properties term as run-of-the-mill housing accommodation. There is no run-of-the-mill accommodation here. All of the accommodations are luxurious accommodations. So we have oceanfront junior suite, we have oceanfront, and all of the properties, all of the rooms, you get to see the ocean view from your room. So if 3 persons stay in a room, they can stay 212 or 219, and if 4 persons stay in a room, 206 and 212. So these are the rates for all of the things that I quoted that you will be getting a little, that you got. All of those things you will be getting. Now, for just a little comparison, for the 2020, no, it's not 2024. It would be the 2025 conference, which was recently held. And I didn't have a scientific summary. And so this was just some things that we got off the top of our head from persons who recalled what they spent. And this worked out to be $189.72 for double occupancy. I'm not sure. I think this would be what the room would cost per night. And so if 2 persons stayed in a room, they would pay $95. So you're comparing the $95. If you're comparing the $95 to the 200 and something dollars, it's a difference of about $128 per night. But then look at what you're getting per night as opposed to what you would have paid. You are not adding the transportation costs that you would need to add because you're not going to be going anywhere. You won't have to consider meals, and some persons didn't eat some meals because they just couldn't afford it after they paid for the hotel and some of the other things that they needed to pay for. The accommodations were cramped. A number of persons got sick because there were so many persons staying in this small little space. And we're not going to be having any of that when you get to Jamaica. Now, this is where the magic happens. What we want to have is all the conference sessions, contests, workshops, gala events to be held on the hotel property. And I'm encouraging persons to stay on the property because this is where the best value is. That comes from staying on the resort. All of the things that I mentioned before, if you stay on the hotel property, you won't have to consider any of those other charges. If by chance you think that the hotel cost is a little too high for you, whatever you pay at another location or even an Airbnb, you would also have to consider adding US $75 per day to that cost because the hotel that the conference is being kept at, or let me just put it, we have not yet decided on the hotel, but the one that we're working closely with, they charge US $75 per person for a day pass. And this is what persons who are not staying on the property would be required to pay each day they come on the property for the conference events. Now, this day pass rate is a special rate being quoted just because we're having the event the conference at the property. Otherwise, if persons are not benefiting from the conference, a day pass rate can be as much as $190 per day. Because what the day pass does, give you access to everything on the hotel property, just that you can't sleep over. Yeah, and you have to leave by a certain time. So these are some of the things that we are working on, and these are some of the things that you will get when we sign the deal with this property and you agree to come. So one of the things that I want you to consider, or maybe you can let me know now, is how many of you are still anxious and excited about coming to Jamaica and will be paying these rates to stay on the conference property? Madam Didi.
So these rates are finalized already, the rates.
No, no. So as I shared, this information is just being shared with you, the leaders, for us to get a feel on the ground with respect to the rates. It is not to be shared externally. Nothing has been finalized. We're just in conversation right now with the venue, but we just needed to hear a little bit from you because, of course, as Deputy Janet explained, people are going to compare last year, and she's shown you the differences and where that is, and why and how it is still going to be beneficial. So we want to hear from you in terms of, would you still be coming? Are you excited to come? These are the rates that we're looking at. So if we can have an indication by a raise of hand or some emoji to see, just to have a feel in terms of, yes, I'm still coming. I'm going to start the process now as DVD Tyree indicated, and I will be on the ball ready to be in Jamaica. And then we're going to open the space for some questions. It's about 4 or 5 questions if you have any. So notice we have, we just ask you to indicate by a raise of a hand or a thumbs up. So ask you to start back in terms of, your.
Madam Didi, can you confirm the dates again for me, please? The 17th? The conference dates. I can't
It's
remember.
May 13 to 17.
Okay, thank you so much for that.
I want to ask about the.
So before you move on, Eddie, Kevin, I'm just going to ask everybody to just lower your hands, and then if we can just do this again, just for the leaders to just indicate by a raise of hand based on what was shared, that you are, you're still feeling it, you are all set and ready. We just want to be able to have a feel as to what is happening from you as leaders to serve as a little survey. So you can go ahead and just indicate by a raise of hand or a thumbs up. So starting now.
Coming, but it's expensive. I don't eat plenty food.
So I see
so
somebody
I'm not
said in the chat,
benefiting.
we can start working from now.
It is not. It is not
9,
all. It is not
10,
only
11,
food.
12, 13.
Daphne.
But this includes
We have
what?
36. We have
It's
36
not
persons on the call, and I'm seeing
not only food.
13 hands raised. All right. So we'll close that off now, and I'll open the space now for any questions or queries. I start with you, Eddie Kevin. I know you would have started first. So if everybody can lower their hand, and then we're going to look at questions or queries. Eddie Kevin.
Right. I will take the hotel. The hotel. I was hoping maybe, I don't know, that's just in my mind, right? You said this ain't finalized yet, so you're still in negotiation with the hotel, right? So maybe try to pull them, I don't know, see if you could get them to 200 or.
No, when we say not finalized, we may not finalize in the sense of us saying that, yes, this is the venue. We've already had all the conversations we needed to have with the hotel, and this is the final sets of rates and perks that they're able to give us.
Okay, no problem. All right, I'll leave it as that. So my question is, what about the other areas of the conference, like how they have the what they call it, the ticket for the various segment days. This included in here too? No, what
No, so this is just for the accommodations at the hotel, and as mentioned, breakfast, lunch, dinner, you have transportation from the airport and back coming from the hotel. So it will not include the conference registration fee to participate in the conference.
Okay, so we only discussing the hotel tonight.
Correct.
All right, okay. Well, gotta break my piggy bank.
Start
Right,
to put
Lady
some more
Daphne.
money in the piggy bank.
Lady Daphne.
I think Eddie Kevin asked my question, but I also wanted to hear it expensive, boy. I'm not, the people who eat lots of food, so the idea of unlimited food might work for them, but it doesn't work for me. 1 meal a day, 2 meals a day, more than enough for me. So it's expensive, plenty. That's
All right,
that's over 1,000 US.
thank you
Close to
for sharing
12
that.
or something like that. So it's a lot. If we can get
Yeah,
it cheaper, that would be good.
thank you for sharing. Anyone else had a question or a query?
I do. I had up my hand, but somehow it went down.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying to understand. So if persons are sharing a room,
Mm-hmm.
the double occupancy is confusing me. 23, 22, 33, or
223.
yeah, per
223 for
person
each
per night.
person. Yes.
But you're sharing a room, some kind of confused.
Because remember,
Why?
it's an all-inclusive. You're
All
getting food.
inclusive.
Both
Yeah.
persons are getting breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I understand each person getting breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but the cost is not sitting with me well. That's 1,536 EC. By the time I convert that, that's 4,412 EC dollars I'm spending there. And then I have to look about you look at a person have to pay about over $2,000 to $3,000 for a plane ticket to come to Jamaica. And then the conference fee. It sounded excited at first, but I maybe have to pass on this one. That price is a big turnoff. And I've never said this before, but something about that
So that's why
price.
we're having the conversation to get, the feeling
That
about. So
pri
thank you
yeah,
for
that
your
price, yeah, that price is somewhat. I understand the quadruple occupancy. The price is not bad. Don't get me wrong with that price down there, but something needs to be worked on for the double occupancy because, as I would agree with Toastmaster Daphne, not everybody eats plenty like myself. So but I understand the hotel cost and whatever, but maybe that might be the best option. But the single occupancy and these suites look like these are all. So don't they have any regular suites? Because I'm looking at these
so
suites.
does
These suites have some prices. Like these are the ones that the president or an ambassador from the UN come and pay. So are there any regular suites that I don't have to see the sea? I don't have to see nothing, just locked in? Because comparing to what we paid in Barbados of the 900 something US, even though we had to buy food, still did not come up close to what I will be spending at all. But I'm just here comparing. That's all.
Thank you for that. And the list of rooms that we share, those are all the rooms that they have, and then they're basically just going to allocate according. So those are all the rooms that they have. So there are regular rooms within the list that you saw, that you're seeing right now. Those are all the rooms that they have there.
But
So the
this is
the Oceanfront Junior Suite, that is the most regular one. That's the regular of the regulars,
Is that
I
top of
guess.
the line hotel?
That's what's gonna
So
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, it is.
because in Barbados we was on a diet.
Okay, so
All right, moving on to Ellen Bryan.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if any options will be provided for the persons coming in the day before or the day after.
What do you mean options in terms of what?
So if I come in for the 13th, because I see you have from the 14th to the 17th. But what if I come in the 13th? Like, do you have options for me to overnight somewhere in Montego Bay, or do you have options for me to stay
No, the rooms are available from the 11th, from the Monday.
for the 11th? Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. DVD, Esther?
Yes, my question was a bit like this, like if they have like a flat rate, like for, let's say for a week, because I really have to come like way before, in fact. Because well, the other day I just went to have a pro forma invoice for the flight itself alone. It's 2,000 something euros. So I have to go to Miami and then I have to go somewhere else again and then I have to go to Jamaica. So it's and then Montego Bay is not always, it's not regularly deserved, like like not like Kingston. So it's really like to come in advance and then go afterward. So if they had a flat rate, let's say for a week or something like that. But then what's really I find a little kind of turning off, like the pass, the day pass at the hotel. But that's their thing. I understand that's their thing. But then it's pretty much like you have no option. If you don't come to that hotel for the day, it's like you have to pay additional. So it's like a lot of cost, in between costs. Because some, maybe not everybody, but some people, like I have to overstay in other places, other countries, and then for me to catch a flight the next day. So it's all additional cost. And so the hotel, really, if it could be less, then I mean, we could have some luxury, but not all the top luxury. I don't know if you see what I mean.
All right.
Yes.
Before you go on, one thing that we have to consider is that there are other properties in Jamaica that you can get to stay at much lower rates. There are Airbnb properties and so on that we will share that information with those persons who would want to stay in those accommodations. Part of our challenge is that to find a property that offered conference facilities, that was our difficulty. So, and the other properties that had conference facilities, well, we weren't able to secure those in a timely manner. And because we didn't get to secure those, then this is why we are now left with basically this one. And if we are not going to go with this property, then it is a strong possibility that other properties are going to be more expensive. The other properties with conference facilities are going to be more expensive than this one, because we lost the opportunity to engage with more affordable properties with more affordable room rates. And another thing we have to consider is that the time of year that the conference will be taking place is a very high demand period in Jamaica. So properties are not willing to discount their rooms much because they are always able to get them sold at market rates.
Madam, sorry. Is it a case where, I mean, I heard your comment just now, but I'm wondering if based on the numbers we're guaranteed to bring, would they even consider dropping a little more? Because I'm understanding there no.
No.
Okay.
No, they have already discounted the rates for us.
Oh, wow. Okay. Because
Yeah,
the way I'm
I
seeing
can
it
tell
is
you almost close to $100.
okay. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. You're muted, Madam Didi.
Yes. Are there any other questions or comments? As I shared, we just wanted to have a little feel from, the leaders to see, because we had our own discussions as well, but we just wanted to also hear from you because really and truly, we have to make sure that it makes sense to go ahead with, the direction and that you are committed to being a part of the journey. Because at the end of the day, when we agree on the contract and we sign off, if we don't have the support and the turnout by the membership, it means that the district will be liable to those costs because we still have to, of course, as you know, with any venue, any hotel or anything, you still have to be able to pay for anything that if you cancel before, whatever the case may be. So we don't want to be liable for costs that we're not able to ensure that we can commit to and have the support for.
Madam District Director, I want to suggest something.
Mhm.
Let us look, well, from the course I'm seeing here, we will have a split in, we might have a smaller amount of person participating in the conference, and people will probably look at the course and who would decide who want to go and who cannot afford to go. I'm suggesting let us look for this. What star this hotel is? This is a 5-star? Is it a 5-star hotel? The prices here
It's
present.
4 or 5. I
Right.
didn't. Yeah.
Let us look for a 2-star.
Mhm.
I mean,
Kevin, you're going back to that's where I started. I
no,
said
no,
that
I'm saying to get the have not to come to.
we
Because
have looked around and
right.
the properties that we could get for lower rates, those properties are no longer available
Oh, okay. All of them.
for the dates that we have.
This one is a tricky one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
All right, so I'm going to just take DVD Deborah, Ryan, and Tyree quickly, and then we're going to wrap this up and so we can close
Let
our
the
meeting.
district
So
fund it.
the district cannot fund it. The
Madam,
conference is a self-funding initiative. It has to be funded by us doing the registration fees and everything. The district cannot fund the conference. So that's why it's important that we really and truly, have the discussions, think through the process so that it works. Yeah, so
Madam
we're going to just
Didi,
wrap up quickly with Deborah, Tyreek,
okay.
and Brian.
My concern mainly, I mean, it sounds all awesome. I know members are in to pay membership dues, dollars, and now to ask them to pay, well, and to encourage them to go to conference at this cost. I think it's a little too much. I have all plans to be there, but that's just me. But I know membership will not react in a positive to the fees that just outlined. That's just my concern.
All right, thank you so much for that input, Brian, then Tyreek.
But the way I'm looking at it, we will build a lot of camaraderie because the double occupancy will have to be it for me. But just aside from that, what's the name of the hotel? I just want to see the resort and or you can't disclose that at this point.
As I shared, so from a legal standpoint, when it comes to these kind of things, we have not signed anything, we have not confirmed anything, so we cannot, in a sense, pitch and promote that this is the venue because we have not confirmed or signed anything. So we're unable to pitch the name of the venue. That's why we're just giving you general details as it is. And as mentioned, it cannot be shared outside of this room because we have not confirmed on anything. We're just here to get a feel from you so that we can know. It's just the trio and the conference chair, Janet, and we have PID Roy. Just the 5 of us, we might have a view, but we just want to have inputs and views from others as well to be able to really and truly make a decision on this.
Okay, that's fair.
And finally, Tyreek.
Yeah, I have I'm just two quick suggestions. I think the best option for the district to do right now is to push the 3 and 4 persons occupancy. I think that might be what we have to do if we're looking at that, if we want people to come to this. And second option, different from Montego Bay, are there other places we could have this conference? That's just my question, because something about Montego Bay, the cost there bewilders me. That's just my that's just my 2 cents. So one, I would suggest the district would promote the four occupancy, which is the 190, is 190 AC, right? No, 206 or 212 per person, right? DTM Janet, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Which I think might be a little bit more cheaper because I'm looking at it, or even the triple occupancy, but the double, so more like the triple and the quadruple. And if we can even maybe go back to roots, because Montego Bay seems like it's going to discourage a lot of persons, and we don't want to have that.
Thank you for your input. And just one note that as much as we would love to push 3 and 4, we still have to, there's only a certain amount of rooms. So that's the first thing we have to bear in mind. And we have to, these contracts are usually set up, you have to kind of have distribution across the rooms. So that also is based on availability. So you might not have, let's say you have, just given a hypothetical number, let's say you have 10 rooms available for 3 and 4 occupancy. We have to bear that in mind as well. All right, so thank you all for sharing your insights, your inputs. If there's any other comments or queries you have that you did not share here and you'd like to share, you can send a message to Conference Chair Janet and PQD Karen so that it can feed into our discussion and way forward as it relates to this. Thank you so much, Conference Chair Janet, for your commitment to this journey and for all that you've been doing behind the scenes trying to make this work. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So it's now 8:30. PQD Karen, CGD Natalie. If we can take 3 to 5 minutes each for your updates, and then we will close the meeting for tonight. So I'm just going to ask you leaders if we can just have 10 minutes to extend the meeting before we close. So we'll start with you, PQD, and then CGD for your updates.
Shall I go first? Madam Didi?
Sure.
Okay. Do you see my screen?
Yes, we can. You may want to put it on presentation mode. Excellent.
Yes, that was my next step. So regarding the update for this month, we have a base of 195 clips that were paid. As per yesterday, the amount was 172. So that will be that we miss about 24 clubs to get to the October goal. That is 196 to be distinguished district. We have from the division directors, we now know that there will be 7 clubs that will not be renewing. So we cannot count on them. With regard to the payment, this is then the graphic that I have. We already celebrated that division A, C, and D were at their 100%. As you can see, the other divisions, we still need some more pushing to do to get to the 100% of their clubs paid. With regard to the membership payment, we have a base of 7,259. So for the October goal is 3,095, and we have currently 3,349 payments So we met the October goal. We have the area director visits report. We have now completed 54 reports, and the deadline for submission will be November 30th. This is an update for the club growth team. We have the extension club, extension committee that is mailing the leads so that we can clean the list, and they will also be supporting new clubs leads. The club sponsor committee, they have been emailing the club sponsor who have not received their reward yet. So we are looking into them and also reaching out to members to become club sponsors. That is also for the club mentor committee. So both committees are working on the club mentors and the club sponsors to clean the list that we have. With regard to the club coach committee, we are approaching clubs that are eligible and also members that want to become club coaches. So if you are willing to step up your leadership, you are more than welcome to email me. And then we have also the cry for help that is for the club growth committee members themselves. For all committees, we want to add 2 more members so that we can share the load of the work. With regards, let's say, to the projects and initiatives, we have now the one club building campaign that has been canceled. That is the Springboard program, because 2 members that will be in charge of this program are now in the splitting committee, so the realignment of the district, and they cannot be charged with this one too. So that's why we decided as a club growth that we will cancel the Springboard program. And another campaign that's now having a lot of you call that success, because we have seen a lot of clubs doing the open house. So we hope that they will be adding 5 new clubs, and the first 10 clubs, 5 new members, and the first 10 clubs to do that will then get to win the prize of spotlighting package. This is the fastest that I could do. Back to you, Madam Didi.
Thank you so much, CGD, for your updates. If you have any questions for her, please send a message to her directly so we can be able to maximize the 10 minutes that you so allowed us. PQD, the virtual space is yours.
Thank you so much, Didi. Thank you, leaders. And let me see if I can be equally quick. So, rushing along. We had announced the 10 clubs who were successful in the 1, 2, 3 success. And I'm not going to name them here since we had the video and in the interest of time. The Lunch and Learn, we continue to have Lunch and Learn, and thank you so much for your support. We had a successful one last meeting, planning meetings as a project manager boss. The next session, this next month, we are planning to look at the enhancements to pathways and give you tips and strategies. We're going to explain it, and then afterwards we're going to find other ways to highlight some of the parts of the program because we know that there is some anxiety and some of it is very, very new to our newer members. Some of the older members would be familiar with some of the parts. So let's embrace it. We're going to work with everybody. And now that we do have the program rolled out and we're able to share the information, please do give me your feedback. A reminder, speech contest season is upon us. I know that some clubs have started their contests and at least one area has started to do their contests. As a reminder, these are the deadlines. If you need guidance, please reach out to either myself or Distinguished Toastmaster Beverly Paris. You will hear more, especially as it relates to the division contest. We will give you more information to assist you and support you in doing your contest and also to select your contest chair. And more training will come. Club Officers Training Round 1 was completed. We had over 170 clubs that met the minimum. I had requested that if there were any officers that you needed me to investigate, to let me know. I haven't had the information. That window closes at the end of the month, the end of this week, as in Thursday. And given the conditions that are likely to happen in Jamaica, and I haven't had any information, I don't expect there to be any changes. 171 clubs have achieved at least one DCP point. 11 clubs have 5 points. 6 have 6 points. 1 club has 7 and 1 has 9. Please, please, please be reminded that no club is distinguished until after the April renewals. I recently saw a club posting on social media that they are officially distinguished. They are not. It doesn't matter how many points you have, you are not distinguished until after the April renewals. So area directors and division directors, please ensure that your clubs have that message. Thank you. We have 543 education awards achieved so far, and we're looking for many more. Upcoming events. The most important event coming up this side of the year is Club Officers Training Round 2. The division directors would have been notified of the topics. The first session will be the district session on November 9 at between 2 to 6 while our region advisors visit is going on. You'll see on the calendar that there is a makeup training scheduled for February 22. That will happen if needed. I do encourage you all to encourage your officers to register. You will get that information very, very shortly. Let's support them, and I will send out more information soon. Other sessions are also planned as we look at club quality so that we can enhance our growth. And I am going to stop there because I've gone over 5 minutes and I wanted to do less. Madam Didi.
Thank you so much, PTD. And again, if you have questions for PTD, kindly reach out to her directly to share those questions. So quickly, as we have on our calendar, we will be having our region advisor visit from November 6th to 9th. And for that visit, we're going to be having 3 sets of events happening. Communication and flyers will start going out this week, but just to give you some insights, we're going to have on November 6th, session titled The Succession Pipeline, which basically focuses on encouraging members to sign up for district leaders' role, and particularly for this upcoming year, as we will need way more persons signing up for roles because the district is going to be going into two directions. So that session is focused on that, and our RA will serve as the keynote speaker. On November 8th at 7 p.m., we're going to have, the first session is for all members in the district. November 8th, we're going to have a special workshop by RA for all of the district leaders. So this is targeted specifically to you, and it's going to be focused on values-driven leadership. And then as Piketty mentioned, on November 9th, we're going to have our club officers training, and RA is going to be one of our trainers for that session. So when the information come out, we encourage you to share with your club, spread across the district so that we can have lots of persons coming out to be able to benefit from the insights and experiences from our region advisor. We look forward to your participation in those activities. But thank you so much for allowing us 15 minutes addition to our assigned agenda. But I do believe that the discussion points tonight were needed, they were fruitful, and it will definitely support us on our journey. Thank you once again, and let us continue to remember Jamaica, Haiti, and Cayman in our prayers as they navigate this time of uncertainty. Thank you so much, district leaders, for being a part of tonight's meeting, and let's continue to engage and connect. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
Have a
evening.
wonderful night.
Good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening.
Have a
Bye,
blessed
everyone.
evening. Good evening.
That's fine.
I pick you the card. I'm gonna
Good
give you a call.
evening.
She'll disappear.
Unlike the way in Kimosabi. Bye, everyone.
Good night.
I got drop off. A decision was taken at the hotel already.
The decision will not be taken here. We will meet and have the decision as trio conference chair. But we've noted all of your inputs and concerns, and you will hear from us in due time. But the meeting has concluded for tonight. Thank you for joining.
All right, have a blessed night.
Bye-bye.